Excuse me! Thank you so much. And now we have a special guest interview with DJ Struth Mate.
G'day listeners, thank you for tuning in today. Tell you what, you are in for a treat today. DJ Struth Mate caught a short film trailer late last year, earlier this year again, and thought, hey, I could share this, but I tell you what, I went down the rabbit hole. I went a bit further, and I discovered an awesome talent in the form of the amazing, award-winning actress, filmmaker, and model, Emma Dark. How the bloody hell are you, sweets?
Hello, DJ Struth. I'm great, thanks very much. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, that's wonderful. Look, I've just got to say, I just love saying your name. Emma Dark. Very, very strong.
Yeah, it's better than Emma Light, isn't it? You know, or Emma sort of medium dark, or I don't know, something like that.
Excellent. Oh, wonderful. I'll tell you what, I'll quickly mention, Seize the Night is the title of your film project, and we shall get to that very, very shortly. But please tell the listeners a brief synopsis. I mean, let's say, your first step into the limelight was definitely modelling, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, that's right, and that was actually about 7 years ago now. I kept saying it was 6 before, but it's actually about 7. Yeah, and I just got into that because I joined a sort of local photo meetup, and when I joined, they just assumed I was a model. So it kind of went from there, and I did quite a lot of stuff. And then I won World Goth Days Best Model, which is obviously, as you can imagine, it's sort of like gothic alternative modelling and that sort of stuff. I modelled for a brand called Hell Bunny / Spin Doctor, and that was catalogue modelling, and they're quite a big brand. So there's lots of different things I did with that, and I did that for quite a while. But after a while, it gets kind of boring, if you know what I mean, because it's great to have these amazing pictures of yourself, but it's not all that creative.
So, you're based in the UK. This was the start of your worldwide domination. I mean, there's lots of darker theme shoots, gothic, black and white sort of stuff, like you said. But there's more to it, I'm sure. I mean, have you ever had to do like a crazy shoot, like, you know, with animals or something like that? I mean, what's been your most memorable experience being the model embracing the model within, or something like that?
Oh, I don't know really. I mean, there's not really anything wild, to be honest. It's just mainly kind of fashion-y type stuff. I did have to kind of sit in a tomb once. Various things like that, to be honest. There's nothing too wild.
Oh, well, sitting in a tomb could be a bit different for most people.
It could be. It could be.
But then again, it could be
gothic stuff, really, but yeah.
It also could be the norm for some people as well, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Insider knowledge, everyone. Aspiring models should be listening now. So what's next for the foray from there?
Okay, so basically from there, a film director I know basically hired me for a music video, and that was a music video by Kim Wilde, which I think probably everybody knows who Kim Wilde is.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and this was a horror music video, which is very unusual actually for Kim Wilde, and it's kind of full of vampires and werewolves and demons and all kind of things. It's a bit of a Buffy meets True Blood kind of thing. And I had a featured role in that. It was supposed to be kind of like an extra role, but there's a lot of screen time there. And that was the kind of thing that made me think, okay, you know, I kind of got a bit lost. Like I said, it was getting quite boring, to be honest. And I found that really exciting. And that's kind of where it went from there. And I ended up in a couple more music videos. And then I started interviewing other filmmakers for a thing I was doing for my own show on YouTube. And it kind of roller coasted, really, to the point where I felt comfortable, you know, going out and making my own film.
And this is all within the last 7 years, hey? Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's been steamrolling up to this. So right now, the big one right now, Seize the Night. You've starred as the main character in this. This is Eva, or Ava, is this how we're pronouncing it?
Eva, yeah.
And you also worked on the script, of course, and basically had creative control over the project. So I'll say it in my words. We'll have to say it's a modern vampire action film by my definition, but it's much more than that. Let us into your brain, Emma. You tell us. You tell us from you let us know.
All right. So basically, it's kind of evolved from lots of different the kind of films I like, basically. which are things like your Blade, Underworld, The Crow, Resident Evil, Razor Blade's Smile as well, which is an indie British film.
Ooh, just the title of that song, I'm going to have to check that out.
It's great, you should definitely watch it. All of these kind of films, which have a kind of modern attitude towards vampires and monsters and that kind of thing, and generally quite a high production value and polish to them. In particular, Blade and Blade the TV series, to be honest. I absolutely love Blade. It's one of my favourite films. So when I did my short, I didn't do what everybody else does, which is basically try and do something on a low budget because it's their first film, usually within a house location or something like that. I decided I'd go a bit crazy and basically try and get a big budget together. I mean, big for me, it's basically peanuts in the film world, and try and do something to a high production value, which I've managed to do, and I'm really pleased with that. And the film itself, there's a whole huge backstory to it, but it kind of picks up when my character, Eva, she's kind of escaped from a prison, essentially, and she's been escaped for a year, and she's rejoined her vampire coven, and she's basically like a hit woman. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and one of the things is she's kind of losing it because of all the stuff that's gone on in the past. She doesn't really remember what happened. There's some flashbacks and stuff like that, and all she knows is she isn't really too happy with werewolves, so she's trying to take them out all the time.
Oh, we got werewolves in this too. Excellent.
They're werewolves, and so basically she has to form an alliance with the werewolves in the end to fight a greater evil, which is the humans. And there's a lot of intrigue, and there's all kind of things going on in it, loads of different subplots, and it's all crammed into 12 minutes and 48 seconds.
Jeez. And the action scenes, I've only seen the trailer myself on my end, but it looks like you stepped up to the plate.
Yes, considering I haven't actually done martial arts for about 10 years now, and I was only a yellow belt when I did it, so it's not like I'm a black belt. But luckily I had a couple of really great people on the project, one which is Roy Scammell, and he did all the fight coordination. Roy's basically a Hollywood stuntman who's now semi-retired, and he did loads of different things. He was the alien in the Alien film in the ejection scene at the end.
Oh, wow. That's very cool.
I know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? And he did a lot of the stunts and stunt arranging for loads of the James Bond films. He trained Christopher Reeve in Superman. He did the choreography for A Clockwork Orange. This is only a few things, really. I mean, he did lots and lots of different things. So he really knew his stuff. And there is actually a gunshot in the film, and it's basically a James Bond style gunshot, although you probably wouldn't catch it because it's so fast, but that's Roy's influence.
Oh, very cool. And you just reached out to him at some point, or did he reach out to you during to collab for this, or?
No, actually, one of my cinematographers, Donato Cinicolo, knew Roy from various other projects he'd done in the past. So he suggested him, and I was more than happy, to be honest, to have Roy on the project, because, you know, somebody who's a great person like this with a wealth of experience, I don't think you could get better, really.
No, I was just going to say, that's a great connection. I mean, just knowing someone who knows someone who knows someone in that sort of industry, that's got to be a blessing in disguise. That's great.
Absolutely.
So you had to cover a lot, of course. Who did the musical score? I'm sorry, it was Eric, wasn't it?
It was, yes. Yeah.
Ambience is very important in audio-visual schemes, and it seems like he's done a pretty good job there too. Once again, this is only from the trailer that I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Eilich is basically, he's a Hollywood composer in the making, to be honest. In my honest opinion, he's really good. I gave him a brief of exactly the kind of thing I wanted. Gave him loads of different links to different soundtracks and things like that, and a few different bands that I really liked, and I kind of left him to it because I knew that he could do the job. And he sent me it back, and pretty much even blew my expectations with it. So, you know, it's really good, and he's done quite a few different films now, and I think he's just moved on to his first feature film now. So, you know, hopefully he'll be knocking on Hollywood's door soon.
All right, well, horns up for Eric Eilich. Awesome job, mate. Hopefully his career is just going to be off and going even more into the Hollywood world.
Absolutely.
So you obviously had to step into a variety of roles for this whole experience.
Yes.
I mean, the whole multi-skilling aspect of it, did you enjoy the process, or do you think in the future you'd rather stick to one thing at a time?
No, actually, I really liked it. I liked doing lots of different things. Partly because I'm probably a bit of a workaholic, and partly because it kind of keeps your creative control in the project.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of going from the beginning onwards, obviously I produced it, and I co-wrote it, directed it, edited it, starred in it, rated it, marketed it. You know, the list goes on, really.
There's so many credits at the bottom of the thing you have to put with just your name. You just have to put Emma Dark. Emma Dark.
I kind of rolled them up a bit, and some of the things I didn't even put on the credits in the film, because it would just be ridiculous for a short film to have, you know, really long credits. But
for sure.
But yeah, it's kind of been, well, it's a project of passion, really. It's taken over a year, and pretty much, I am working on it every day, even now. Now it's done, and it's out to the festivals and stuff, because there's still loads of things to do, like the behind the scenes and finish marketing it, and, you know, obviously eventually get it out this year as well.
Yep, of course. Oh, look, DJ Struth Mate's going to be all over this when it comes in, and I get to watch the first screening of it in Australia. That should be wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
I hope you like it.
Oh, look, I love the whole vampire sort of action genre sort of films. Like you said, you mentioned your Blades and your whatever else you got, your Underworld series and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's all wonderful stuff, and it's just one of those. I like the updating. I mean, the classical vampire tales of you know, back in the day, Interview with the Vampire and such, and Dracula, of course. They're all great films.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everything gets stepped up and everything gets revamped every few years for the next generation.
Yeah,
so yeah, this
literally.
is another one to add to the collection. So awesome. All right, we'll drift off. We won't drift off too far, but what would be your favourite film or TV show of all time? I mean, you mentioned that UK one, that Razorblade Smile.
Yeah, Razorblade Smile's great.
Yeah, but would that be your favourite, or would you have some other favourites?
No, well, I mean, one of my favourite films is Blade. I just really love it, and The Crow. I absolutely love The Crow, and I love Brandon Lee as well. Yeah, you know, for many different reasons.
You just don't come across as a romantic comedy sort of girl.
No, not really. No. Something maybe like Romance in the Stones, about as far as I go with romantic comedies.
Oh,
you know,
that's a good oldie. Oh, wow.
You know, it's a kind of action adventure as well. So.
Yep. That was the Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito ones that they did. They had the trilogy sort of thing: Romance in the Stone, War of the Roses, and
Jewel of the Nile.
Jewel of the Nile. That's a third one. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're a movie buff. You should have known. So very good. Okay, so your plate is quite full all the time. I mean, you said yourself you're a workaholic.
Yes.
I mean, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, what would Emma Dark do on a day off? You've got the day off from the rest of the world. You don't even have social media today. What would you actually do?
I'd probably read a book, to be honest. Yeah. If I'm not doing some kind of social media thing, or something to do with my film, or something else to do with film, or helping other people with their films, it would basically be reading a book to relax.
And do you have a genre of book do you read? Like autobiographies or novels or fiction, science fiction?
No, I used to read a lot of sci-fi, but I've pretty much exclusively read horror now for about the past 15 years, to be honest. And I went through all of the Sean Hudson's books as well. So I'm actually, I'm in my study at the minute, and I've got loads of Sean Hudson books right next to me at the minute. So I definitely recommend Sean Hudson.
Cool.
For anybody who loves horror.
DJ Struth Mate's rediscovered his love of H.P. Lovecraft's tongue and words. Just great.
Okay.
I just can't believe how great he worded stuff back in the day, and I've been listening to some audio samples of other people reading his work, and oh my god, it's just wonderful. It's so macabre. It's just so dark.
Yes. Yeah. Well, actually, to Graham Masterton. And I've been going through lots of his different books, and a lot of his stuff is H.P. Lovecraft inspired, so you probably like that.
Oh, very cool. No, I'll check him out too. Yes. And I'll tell you what, you do appreciate this sort of darker stuff, and from one of my little bit of my factoids here, you actually own a coffin or two. Is that for decorative purposes? Decorative purposes? What's going on there?
Well, it could be. You never know, do you? You don't know what they're used for. Oh yeah, they are decorative, yeah. There's a load of books in one, and that is well, it pretty much is a real coffin, to be honest. But it was used in a Hammer film. I don't know which Hammer film it was used in. I mean, it definitely wasn't one of the major ones. And I haven't watched all of the kind of later Hammer films, the smaller ones, to find out. But it was then used by Cradle of Filth on stage.
So you've turned an old prop set piece into a storage device, haven't you?
Yeah. But guess what? Lots of horror books. And then I've got another one that's a drinks cabinet, and then I've got an Egyptian sarcophagus, which is about 6 foot tall as well, and that's got DVDs in it. Then I've got another smaller sarcophagus, about 4 foot, and that's got DVDs in it. So
I've quickly got to let you know, DJ Struth Mate back in '89 got to visit Egypt. I actually got to go inside a pyramid and check out the tombs. It was a magical experience, but I'll leave that for another time. But that was wonderful.
Well,
so you've actually got 3. You've got 2 coffins and you've got a sarcophagus, is what you're saying.
I've got 2 coffins and 2 sarcophagi.
Oh gosh, sarcophagi.
Yeah, that's the plural. I do actually have another one that's 2 foot tall, but really, to be honest, it's too small to put much in.
Ah, yes, of course.
So it's just that's just a purely decorative coffin.
That'll be for a goldfish burial or something.
Exactly.
Oh, you're awesome.
And I've got lots of little small ones as well. So not that I'm in any way obsessed with coffins, obviously.
Oh, no, of course not. It was just one little thing that came up, and when I was doing my little bit of a discovery about you, and I sort of went, that's interesting, I better mention that to the people. All right, so what's
the weird things.
You're currently promoting the Seize the Night. You're on the promotion trailer for this at the moment, but what would be next coming from you? Have you got some little brainstorming idea in the back of your mind brewing for the next film project or creative project of your own?
Yeah, I do have. I've got a couple of ideas that I've not put down on paper yet. I can't really talk much about them because obviously they're not on paper, so they're not copyright at the minute.
Well, of course,
but they do. Of course, they're horror, and one of them does revolve around vampires, unsurprisingly. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got two horror ones, and I also have another script actually that's already done. But I do want to revisit Susan Knight for a part 2 at least. But maybe, you never know, if an investor comes forward, it could be a feature or something. So there's options.
If you need any horror themed from Australia, we do have the ever dreaded Drop Bear as a character that could be featured, and that's a wonderful creature that most people think is mythical over here, but it actually exists.
Okay, you'll have to tell me more about this.
Oh, the Drop Bear? Oh my gosh. Basically, there's this terrible little, cute little teddy bear looking thing that hides in trees, and people think that they're cute, but they actually attack you.
Oh, koala bears.
Oh, yes. Well, that's the separate breed of these. The Drop Bears came from koala bears. Drop Bears are actually a subspecies that's evolved, but only in the last 50 years, so...
Okay.
Anyway, Westar listeners, you'll just got to type in Emma Dark into your browser. Basically, you can go to www.emmadark.com. Is that correct?
It is, yes.
Excellent. And DJ Struth Mate's a huge fan of this genre. Definitely check it out. So right now I have a small list of questions here that have been asked of some listeners and some Westar people. I've compiled them in the last 24 hours since I've got in contact with you, but they're all directed to Emma Dark. I hope you have got some extra time at your sleeve to be able to answer a few of these for the people.
Absolutely.
Okay, some of them here are just very simply worded, so I'll go through. First one here, just simply. Alrighty, I'll just get back into that. Alright, first question here. Simply, Betty Boop or Betty Page? With a question mark.
Oh, Betty Page.
Betty
definitely.
Page? Gosh, I'm just trying to remember that. Oh yeah, Boop-Boop-Be-Doo. Betty Boop. There we go.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next question here. Spend a day with Alfred Hitchcock or spend a week with Ed Wood? Oh my god, that's huge.
Alfred Hitchcock.
I think the day with Alfred Hitchcock would be a bit more beneficial.
Yeah.
The week with Ed Wood would just be crazy.
Yeah, it would, wasn't it, really?
Alrighty, favourite photo shoot of your own and someone you admire?
Oh god.
That's going to rack your brain, isn't it? You've done a few, haven't you?
Yeah. I've done loads, but, obviously I'll disappoint everyone else when I say one person. But everyone's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do really like the photo shoot I did with Horrify Me, Rick Jones. Mm-hmm. So it's a big shout out to Rick Jones.
Rick Jones, nice. There you go.
Horrify Me.
And what's this one here? This question here, this is from one of the West Star team. It says, vampires are real, look at Keanu Reeves. Care to elaborate from your research?
Sadly, I've never met Keanu Reeves. There's always still time. But yeah, he could be a vampire.
Oh gosh, he is. He hasn't aged a day, has he, in the last few years?
No, not really. No, he still looks great, doesn't he?
And he's got that wonderful new John Wick series. Oh, well, the John Wick movie came out, which is sort of that sort of. He's got the sequel coming out. That's the next project for him, which is a wonderful movie as well. And what have we got here? All right, your choice of the best portrayal of Morticia Addams, is that by the original series actress Carolyn Jones or by film by Angelica Houston, of course?
I'd have to say Angelica Houston.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, and in my research actually found out that Daryl Hannah played her in the third Addams Family movie, which went straight to video.
Oh, right. Well, I didn't even know there was one, so I better check that out.
Addams Family Reunion. Oh, gosh, that's terrible. Oh, I'm going to have to watch that.
I can't imagine Daryl Hannah doing that, actually.
Yeah, she's just got that classic blonde hair thing. They must have just chucked a black wig on her.
Yeah, splash and everything.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, next question here for you is... Oh, well, we know about the coffin and sarcophagi, but do you have an insane collection of anything? You don't have to, like, seashells or anything weird like that, do you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have anything weird, would I? Okay, I've got quite a few Chucky dolls, and quite a few Crow figures, Brandon the Crow, but I've probably got more Chucky dolls.
Chucky dolls, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're always good, Chucky dolls.
Gotta love waking up to a room full of Chucky dolls staring at you.
I think he looks cute, actually.
And this one question here... Oh, yes, he's got that cheeky little grin, of course, but I mean...
Yeah.
I didn't...
Sure, he didn't mean to kill anyone, you know.
Yeah, that Bride of Chucky movie wasn't really... It was more comedy. It sort of strayed from the path of the original series, but anyway.
Yeah, it did.
Someone's obviously done their research here with this question because they're asking you advice to anyone thinking of crowdfunding.
Well, basically, anyone can crowdfund.
Easy avenue for you, or did you find it difficult, or...?
It was quite difficult. I think you really have to put a lot of marketing behind it. There are, and I don't know how they do it, but there are feature films that manage to get, partial funding, but we're talking quite a lot of money from crowdfunds, which is great. When I did mine, I had quite a few backers, but I didn't reach my target. And I do think it is just about getting loads of people to do shout outs for you and lots of marketing and stuff. So that's what I'd say, really, if anyone wants to do one that's successful, because you don't really have a very long time to achieve your goal in. I think the maximum on Indiegogo is about 60 days. And I think I did that, actually, 60 days, but yeah, I didn't get the full amount. It probably just means that I should have done more marketing, really.
Fair enough. And I think the newer versions of these are sort of like your Patreon, where it's like an ongoing crowdfunding thing, where it's not just a limited time, like your Kickstarter and your Indiegogos and stuff like that, which do have time limits and such. So DJ Struth Mate might do a little bit more research and post up a few for the bands that they might be, everyone's out there, like you said. Everyone's just trying to do their creative art, and if someone else out there likes your work and they want to throw a buck your way, you may as well give them an avenue to do it. So.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you have to. Everyone that backs you on the crowdfund, you have to give them something back. Not just expect to have money for nothing. But
nothing's for free.
No, exactly. That's the thing. So it's almost like you're selling a product, and they're kind of the first people to get the product, if you like. So that's the way you have to look at it, really.
Oh, it's like bands doing it, and you get a shout out in the sleeve cover of the CD, or
exactly,
or you get a free download of the first track single off the new album or something like that. It's very very much same and same. So yeah, alrighty.
Exactly.
Look, Emma, I appreciate those answers there. I'm sure all the Struthlings will be stoked with those answers. That's wonderful. I would love to play a track of your choice to finish up this interview. Anything spring to mind?
Well, there's lots of different things I like, but if you've got it, I guess Burn by The Cure.
Oh, I can do The Cure, easily done. That's it. As you wish, I can definitely do that.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Oh, look, so many thank yous for your time today, Emma. Head to www.emmadark.com and check out Seize the Night trailer, and later in the year you'll be able to actually catch the full short film in its entirety, and I can't wait to see more creations coming from you in the future, Sweets. I wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up soon, Sweets. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.
weststarradio.com